Episode 75 of the Thunder Underground podcast. My name is Trent, and I'm joined by Jason.
Hello.
Hello. 75, that's like another one of those milestone numbers.
Yeah. We're 25 away from 100.
Yeah.
And our interview with James Hetfield and Axl Rose at the same time will finally happen on episode 100.
Yeah.
We're just kind of letting you guys know now. We got it confirmed. So
lofty goals, but yeah, you got it confirmed. It's all good.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. So episode 100, be on the lookout.
Yeah. But episode 75.
Yes.
Right now, more importantly, is Fist of Rage.
Yes. Fist of Rage.
We're officially dubbing this the podcast of Rage.
Yeah.
You knew that was coming.
Yes, right? It was. Do you remember? You remember a few years ago when they played Rocklahoma, and at our campsite, everything was of Rage.
I forgot about that.
The koozie of Rage.
It's like the first time we saw him. So then, yeah.
Yeah. So
we should have told him this.
I know. Well, it just came to me now for some fucking reason.
Yeah. So everything. You had the beer koozie of Rage.
Beer koozie of Rage.
The tent of Rage. I don't know. Everything was of Rage.
Yeah, the bug spray of Rage. It was great.
Yeah.
How did we forget that? Well, we're telling you guys now. This is how much we love you guys. It's everything of Rage.
Yeah. Let's bring it back.
Yes, we are. It's happening.
And we're starting with the podcast of Rage.
Fuck yes.
Yeah. Featuring V, Paullett, Andy, and Josh.
That's right.
All four members of Fist of Rage. We've got a great interview coming up here in a bit. And I think it was close to an hour, or at least an hour maybe.
Yeah, it was great.
Good stuff. Before we get into that, we wanted to talk a minute about Zakk Wylde.
Yes.
Because I went to the show last night in Oklahoma City. And just to preface it, if you're not familiar, he's on tour right now, solo. Even though he's solo, it's basically Black Label Society on stage.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's dubbed the Zakk Wylde Solo Tour because the whole set is songs from Book of Shadows, his first solo album, and Book of Shadows 2, his new solo album. And it's like 15 songs, half and half from each album.
Okay.
Great stuff. I must tell everybody this is like my favorite album of all time besides Appetite for Destruction.
Yeah.
Or Master of Puppets. Besides those couple big ones, this is it for me. This is like, the perfect, it's not the perfect album if you want to be in a joyous mood, I guess. But you know what I'm saying? It's just perfect music.
Yeah, it is.
And I know that it's high up on your list as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it featured, this album, Book of Shadows, came out, 95, 96?
96.
Yeah, and it features, I think, to this day and ever, it features Zakk Wylde's best playing.
Yeah. And
I can tell you that, it was just crazy. I remember it coming out and thinking, oh, this guy's got a solo album out, But then you listen to it and it was so impactful on us. And I loved Zakk Wylde because, I loved Pride and Glory and I loved Ozzy. But that album, like I said, was such an impact on me. And he was one of the guys, from then on, he was up there with Metallica and Megadeth and Typo Negative. And just as my favorites.
Yeah.
And, we've never looked back. And, he's just grown and grown and grown. And so I'm really glad he's revisiting all this.
Yeah, I never really thought, I think we mentioned this before, but I never thought it would happen.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And it sucks that I missed the show, but, stuff happens.
Right.
Hey, at least you went. And, like we were talking about a little bit ago, talk about it. I saw a lot of pictures of him doing electric, and I thought it was acoustic, and just kind of go into it.
Well, before you mention that, that we saw him on that tour the first time.
Yeah, the Unblackened tour.
No, I meant 96. The
Book of
Shadows tour.
Yes, yeah. Oh,
and
definitely.
All that was him and Nick, the original rhythm guitarist for Black Label Society, before BLS came out.
Yeah.
He was on tour with Zakk on that, and it was just them two on stage, and that was it.
Yeah.
They had acoustic guitars, and Zakk had an electric he played on occasion, and then the piano that Zakk would play when it called for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this one was different because it was a full band.
Yeah.
But Dario was playing acoustic most of the time.
Really?
Not all the time, but almost any time he had a guitar, it was acoustic.
Okay.
Sometimes, I think there was a couple times he had electric, and most anything that required piano, Dario played.
Okay.
Except for, you saw the picture I posted on Instagram.
Yeah.
Obviously, Zakk did some. He did it on Road Back Home, and then he did it on The King,
Okay.
and I think one other new song. But all the rest of the piano stuff, Dario took care of, and then Zakk just... There were some of the songs that, like Between Heaven and Hell, where that's just straight acoustic.
Yeah.
It was acoustic for most, but then like the middle, he just like rocked it up.
Yeah.
And there was a couple songs he did that too. And of course, there was already the songs like Throwing It All Away or Sold My Soul, Road Back Home that already have the electric in them. And then a few songs on a new album. But it pretty much was electric guitar for the most part, but there were clean points, and there was also way more improvisation. Like, the first song they opened with was Sold My Soul, and I'm not exaggerating, it was 10 minutes long.
I bet.
And he played almost the whole song, and then the last, 6 minutes of the song was a solo, and then the last 30 seconds was, the chorus again. It was amazing. And then later on he played Throwing It All Away from the first album, and the intro has that piano part and then that guitar solo.
Yeah.
But then the guitar solo on that was probably a good 5 to 7 minutes long, and he went into the crowd and went out, where the soundboard is at Diamond. He went clear out there, and so everybody's surrounding him. You could barely see him unless you're right over there.
Yeah.
But he played a huge extended solo for that, and then came back up on stage and then played the song, Throwing It All Away.
Well, how did he go out into the crowd? Because was there a barrier? Did he just jump over it with his guitar, or what?
Yeah, I saw him go down, and I thought he was just going down into that middle part.
Yeah.
And then he just walked, because, they've got the barrier, and then they've got a gate over there. So he came out the gate on the side, and he wasn't wireless. So his roadie guy held up the cord, and he walked clear out there, and then someone else, I guess it was probably someone else that worked with him, was holding up the cord in the middle of the crowd. So 2 people were holding the cord so he could go halfway across the diamond.
Oh, my God.
So if you couldn't see where it was, you just followed the cord, and then I kind of got over there to where I could see him a little. And
That's insane.
Maggie and Becky were both over there, and they got real close, within 2 people. And, so it was kind of, I know he does that at the Hendrix thing and stuff like that. But, I just thought it was cool how he made... I mean, he always does that. He adds, obviously, Zakk Wylde, he adds solos to stuff, but he really made those songs even more epic than they already were.
Yeah, by getting out there and connecting with everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can thank Buddy Guy for that.
Right?
You knew I was going to bring that up. Well, that's great, man. And, that's just, God, I don't know. I'm speechless. All I can say is I wish I went.
Yeah.
It's
one of those things that, if you go to this because you're a Black Label fan and you never follow solo stuff, you're probably sitting there you didn't know a single song, which I thought was great. He didn't put in anything. I'm glad.
That was going to be one of my questions.
There was no In This River or Stillborn or anything thrown in there to appease the masses. It was the Book of Shadows 1 and 2 tour, and this is it.
That was it. That's
and
great.
I mean, but the funny thing was, his merch table was 100% Black Label Society, and then the Book of Shadows 2 CD and record were for sale.
Really?
But he had no T-shirts or any other stuff from Book of Shadows or solo stuff. It was all just BLS stuff.
What's that about? No wonder. You think
because it sells? There were people walking around with those T-shirts.
Yeah, true. Yeah, they're not stupid, I guess.
Yeah. And of course, we're still the Black Label Oklahoma chapter, even though it's a Zakk Wylde solo. And he did give a longer introduction to each guy than he normally does.
Really?
Which I thought was funny. But
well, that's cool. Yeah,
it was definitely a highlight for me personally, just because of how much that album meant to me and how much I love the new album as well.
Yeah. Well, you'd said that it was one of the best solos ever. Did he do some kind of, exclusive guitar solo that was badass or something?
No, I just mean those ones I talked about, those extended.
Okay.
It just maybe it's because every time you see it, you walk away thinking, well, that was badass.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just because he was doing it in songs that meant so much more to me than he's normally doing it in. Because as much as I love Black Label, it still doesn't mean as much to me as Book of Shadows does.
Yeah, exactly.
So the fact that it was happening in those songs maybe just made it seem more amazing to me than it was. I don't know.
Okay. Okay, that'll work.
Yeah, but yeah, you definitely missed one.
I did, but I got double time at work. Yeah, and so I had to do that.
But 10 years from now, you're not going to remember double time at work. You'll remember missing Book of Shadows.
Thanks, man. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, sorry. Had to do it. So, anyway, people, you'll get Book of Shadows 2 or even 1 if you haven't ever heard it.
No kidding.
Do yourself a massive favor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. Well, another favor you can do yourself is to go on Fistbook. Like that. Go on Fistbook and follow Fist of Rage and find out what these guys are up to. They've played some shows recently here in the area. They're playing in Oklahoma City in right under 2 weeks. Saturday, July 23rd, opening up for the Bullet Boys.
That's right.
So you can get... I couldn't think of something clever to say. I was going to try to incorporate Rage into Smooth Up In You, but I couldn't get it. I couldn't do it. Sorry.
You could get a fist smooth up in you.
No, yeah, fist
of
in
Rage,
you. Fist up in you.
That's what I'm here for.
Or just fist up in you.
Fist up in you, yeah.
Yeah, so get out there to that if you're in the Oklahoma area or even Texas. Drive up there to see that. Chasing Jenny is also on that show. There's great opening bands, so do it.
Yeah.
So we went out to Nowata, which is where V works as a business, and they invited us in. That's where their practice space is. And we had all 4 of them there and talked to all of them. And we laughed a lot more than we have on many of these, I think.
We did, and that's great. I don't know. I mean, I'm awkward and shy around people I don't know yet. And so it was just cool to be put at ease and just laugh. And these guys, love each other. They love to laugh. It was just a great time.
Yeah. Yeah, you can always tell whenever... I mean, I haven't been around when we're doing this. Bands I don't think don't like each other, but you can always tell whenever people really like each other and they're really close. And it's like, even Josh, who they talked about's only been in the band a few months, all 4 of them just seem like just good friends hanging out.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like, we're just here, we're a band, we're trying to do this interview. It just seemed more real, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we talked enough. Should we just get into this?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, here we go. All 4 members of Fist of Rage.
Andy's still trying to kick his drug habit, so he's kind of independable.
Yeah, giving blowjobs on the street corners for black tar heroin. Chapping my ass.
The truth is, Josh is the problem.
The new guy's always the problem, right?
His lips
I'm
are
the new
problem.
We were supposed to do it Friday. Oh, that's right. You guys know. You knew about that.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, we're good. We're here. We're good.
I got a retail job, and it varies week to week. It sucks.
Plus, you got to get rid of your surfer haircut. Your surfer dude haircut.
Dude, it looked respectable.
Yeah, it's a work in progress, obviously.
It's a lot of work. Going in for a full makeover tomorrow.
How often do you guys try to practice during the week?
Usually, all practices are during the week. I know that's not the right angle you were looking at.
It's okay. I'm not a professional.
Honestly, what it's been like, and I'll just do a rundown for the last 3 years, because we've constantly, this prior to Josh, we've been bringing in and auditioning, so our practices were sporadic, and because he lives like an hour and a half away, And, you know, he got that talent. He's like, hey, I'm the lead singer. You guys don't need me to sound good.
You guys started, I'll be an hour and a half late.
Sebastian Bach. It's not my job.
It's not my
Not my job to break into drummers. Did that answer your question? Because I kind of, I'm like a flat rock on a pond. I just skip across from one point to the next.
It'll work. It's all good.
Next thing you know, I'm ordering the Roy Park Big Guitar Notebook. Or Big Note Guitar Book. There it is.
So this is like a hefty drive of every time you practice, right? For all of you, except for you.
It's a heavy commitment for me, too. Come on now.
Mostly for Andy. He's got close to a 30.
Yes.
It
Yes.
takes me 45 minutes for some reason.
Hey.
I don't know.
A simple yes will answer that
Yes.
question.
Yes.
Well,
Possibly.
yes.
Well, a lot of times practice will run into fucking midnight or better, and whenever he's got an hour and a half drive back home. So, like I said, prior to Josh, when we were bringing people in to audition, I really didn't want him there to all of them, in case it was a waste of his time anyway, because there's a learning curve anyway. So, but normally speaking, it's in the week, but it varies depending on, you know, Andy's 28-day cycle.
Every 25 days.
25.
And even
But
then,
we get really
it's
serious
negotiations.
2 days before the show. That's when we start practicing hard and heavy. I was kidding.
So you've been doing this since 2007, right?
Yeah.
7 or 8.
Yeah.
Like, what would you say the band is now compared to it was then? Since it's totally different, personnel-wise at least.
Well, let me start from the top. I think this man's vocals are prime. They're what have given this new album that comes out. When you hear the Fear album and you hear this one, it's really going to be like two different bands because his, you know, I love Sam, you know, on Fear and all that stuff, but his vocals just fit the music a lot better. As far as Paullett on bass, that girl bleeds. She don't even eat Fist of Rage because she's too busy working to get Fist of Rage rolling. Couldn't have a better partner. And Josh, well, he may not be around very long.
Drummer 18. 19's coming soon, I'm sure.
We just now started calling him Josh. Yeah, he was like 12. He was 12 for the first 8 weeks.
You put up those ads like Spinal Tap.
No.
No.
We're a little more sophisticated than that. We go to the bars when it's closing time, and they and you just sit back and you scan the audience, and the one guy back in the corner goes, "Oh, those fuckers suck. I could do better than that." Then you go, "Hey, so you play?"
That's kind of how that went down, isn't it?
But no, I'm especially camaraderie wise. I think Josh is an excellent fit, and I think he has skills we have yet to tap into because he's just at the point where he's getting acclimated to the songs, to where he can fuck around, you know, during the song because he don't have to think about it and do his own shit. So
Yeah, we brought him on board right before Rocklahoma, so we were focusing on what we were doing for that weekend, and now moving into.
yeah, he stopped taking notes in between songs at practices.
But that's a good sign.
Yeah, now he's just cutting lines.
Took me a little while to get through those. So, yeah.
And Andy's like, you can lose weight faster if you just don't eat.
Doesn't cost as much.
You maintain muscle a little longer.
Well, you're talking about this album. What's the status on that, and how's that shape?
It is almost there. I think all the tracks are laid, if memory serves me.
One left.
One left.
One left.
And there's 2 or 3 of them we got to go in there and just nip and tuck something there that we want to do a little different. But man, it's almost there. And now that we've got Josh full time, so we don't have to spend half our time auditioning.
Yeah.
Everything we do pushes us forward, as opposed to just keeping us treading water.
Nothing is going to stop this album this time besides death. Because I call it the Fist Curse. We're either going to close a bar down or play at a funeral. Or
I was going to say, death was there.
It's usually right around the corner. And it's usually happening in our band, not necessarily death per se, but our drummers tend to fly the coop. It's everyone else can stay, but the drummers go. It's just the weirdest phenomenon, and Josh is finally.
Well, on that note, this is
Filled
the
that
last
in.
show for me.
I hope you don't die, man.
Hey, just thank God it's happy hour. That's $3.
Double bubble.
And that's Arkansas beer. I don't know what that means. I think it tastes like your sister.
Messed up, man.
It is.
My bad. I meant
You
yes.
saw my sister and you really messed up.
So if your sister looked better, it
No.
tastes better?
Now, I did know your sister was down, but I was just referring to the Arkansas thing, brothers and sisters. I didn't know you had a guilty
That whole
conscience
belt right there. Mississippi,
I didn't know you were
Alabama,
struggling
Arkansas.
with inner demons. That's my bad.
So
Segue into the next part.
Man.
So far, we have nothing we can use.
Oh, it's all going in. Every bit of it.
So you have all the drums recorded, or is you having him recut any of the stuff? Or?
He's had an opportunity to recut or cut some of them. What was there going to be 12 or 13 songs on this track or on this album?
I think 13.
Yeah, I think 13.
And
It's 11 different drummers.
It's not far off, man.
12, remember.
and it's probably more me than because I know Josh has said we got to recut all the drums, and I'm like, let's get this CD done. There's a whole pile of songs waiting in limbo, and fortunately, we've been able to squeeze a few of them in because it's been drug out so long. But there's still another CD just waiting in the realm.
As soon as we get this
Yeah.
one,
Wow.
So, but I want. I mean, it's because it's been what 5 years, 4 years
4 years.
since Fear. And
Fear is 5,
I want this,
I believe.
especially for the fans that have hung around and just anticipating and waiting. I want it to be the product that they've been waiting for, which I think it's going to be.
Well, and I mean, even if we don't end up recutting the tracks on the drums, we've got some awesome drummers that are that are featured on this.
Like 11
like
was
11. Yeah, we've got a former drummer from THC on here.
good. Yeah. Yeah. Two was fine. He was all right.
It'd be like that Santana album, but with drummers.
Yeah.
Got
That was one of the
Different drummer.
songs, like 5 and 9 really stuck out to me. They were tough to learn.
Nociceptor out of Texas, their drummers featured on this album. Enslaved by Fear's drummers featured on the album. I mean, we've got a taste of we've got a few names. I think it's could be an interesting album.
It is, and the album is a whore because of it.
Is that the name of it?
That should be the name of it.
There you go.
No, well, we've been holding back on the title of it. Because it's almost like shooting your load before she even gets her panties off. So we haven't advertised what the title's gonna be, other than to the guy who's helping us with the art, and the inner circle, the circle of trust. But whore would be a good name for it. Maybe we should reconsider that.
Whore.
5 Minutes Alone drummer too. Can't leave out Jay.
3 Doors Down. Just kidding.
That's 3 minutes alone.
3 minutes.
Start that again.
It's gonna happen, man. I gotta keep my mouth shut.
I'm not knocking them by any means. We're really close friends. I don't know if you know the guys with 5 Minutes Alone, but we're doing a show with them this Saturday.
5 minutes.
But the drummer, who used to be our drummer at Fist, he's starting another project because their singer isn't always available. So 3 of the guys are branching off and doing their own thing. And I call them 3 Minutes Alone. If you say it fast enough, it sounds really close to 5 minutes on.
3-man bukkake.
5 minutes till 3.
I'm trying real hard not to be the asshole.
Keep pushing that button.
Hey, but in the name of humor. There you go.
Well, I saw on Melissa song on your Reverb Nation, you guys had a Beau Hill mix. What's the story on that? And just kind of talk about how that came up. That's kind of cool, I thought.
We were playing in Texas, Waco, and the venue owner had came in while we were playing, and he really dug one of our songs, or one song in particular. So we gave him a disc, and he turned it on to a DJ friend of his. He says, "Hey, give me a disc, and I've got the DJ friends, and he'll spin it in Texas for you." Well, that guy, whenever he listened to it, he's like, "Oh man, this is good shit." So he was friends with Beau Hill, and he gave it to Beau, and he liked him, but the Iscariot mix that he did, he liked. That wasn't the song that the DJ was singling out for. That was just another song on that list or on that disc. And whenever he called, he's like, "Hey, man," he said something. And he goes, "Well, what I'm saying is I think this shit is really good, and I'd like to work with you guys on it." And I'm like, "Who the fuck is Beau Hill?" So, Google is your friend. And then I found out that, he worked with a lot of my favorite bands and, freaking won Grammys and shit. I was like, okay, I guess we will. Don't you change the meaning of that song. Because I'm an artist. So that's the story.
Nice.
Well, on the stuff the stuff you guys have done for this album, did you self-produce it, or you have anybody else working with you?
We got Eric. He's been the guy behind the wheel. I mean, it's self-produced. He's a buddy of ours since Fist started. He did the recording on Fear, and with the new stuff, he's like, "Man, I want an opportunity to work on this also because I've learned so much." And I'm like, "Hey, man, the price is right too." But no, he's spent the compilation of everything that's been done. And there's still, a lot of final mixes and stuff that needs to be done, but just he puts in the time it takes to make us sound good.
It's really dedicated.
Yeah. Eric Hood. Yeah. I didn't say his last name, but Eric Hood.
He has a sister named Robin. I just have to say that. People love it. Robin Hood.
That's a girl's name.
Yeah.
It could be a boy's name too.
I just always
don't get
loved
it.
that I had
I
a
don't-
schoolmate
I don't
named
see
Robin Hood.
I don't see why that
Like
was even
Robin
relevant.
You're not being
It's
gender
just-
fluid. You're not being gender
Well, the
fluid
name was
right
cool.
now. It's just not. It's not politically correct.
Probably never caught shit for that ever.
Yes. I should have just said yes.
Are you needing your hat?
No, I'm looking at those turtles over there. Like, they're all three
I'm sorry. Is
on that
Jason
one's back.
boring you?
No, I had that effect on most people. Sorry.
So tell us, what are the turtles' names?
Actually, I would need my daughter for that. The three-legged one is I don't know.
Sure.
I can tell you the four small ones is Michelangelo, Donatello,
Okay.
and the other two.
That's coming.
The other ones, my youngest girl, she names them all, and we got a baby possum at the house that when she got it, it was yay big. It wasn't even crapping on its own. She had to massage the belly. And she got a rabbit. She's got dogs and more dogs.
Can you buy a possum as a pet, or did you just find it?
No, well, I'm sure you can, but no, this is redneck country.
Okay.
If you swerve just right, you can kill the mom, then go hunt down.
Right.
You can hunt down all the babies. No, some kid brought a litter of 9 to school because he had shot their mom. Thank you.
Okay.
And he did whatever. I mean, he was doing what possums do, and so he shot it, and then found out it was a mother of 9. So there's no legal ramifications. I won't say his name.
That's probably safe. Well, you had a question on the way here, and I don't think we should ask it because I think it'd be amazing.
Oh, yeah. I guess this would probably be for you. Maybe you've been around a while. Like when you first made the shirts that say "Get Fisted," did like your moms or grandmas or anyone get offended? Or you made a point they might not even catch the.
Did you get that from
I'll
your
let
grandmother?
Andy speak for his side as far as his mom. As I don't know that he's showed her the shirt yet.
I think I could remember a time when she thought it meant like something like "get fisted" meant that a hand would work up my ass and it would work like a puppet. She made it some kind of reference towards puppetry, and I tried to explain her that it was not only is it for the music part of it, but it's also a sexual innuendo. Let's face it. And of course, she thought it was brilliant. But my mom's a very Christian woman, and she tries to keep her opinions to herself when it comes to me because she doesn't want to, give me a complex. I love my mom.
Now, as far as my family, they embraced it. In fact, my niece, we were playing at a venue in Tulsa, and we had the "Get Fisted" shirts, and that was the cry call, "Get Fisted." And she was like, "Yeah, elbow deep." So then we went and got arm sleeves with "Get Fisted," elbow deep. But I mean, our fan base. I mean, I call us blue collar rockers because everyone still has to put in their time during the week to do what we love, in the band. And our fans are the same way. So whenever we're playing our shows, we try to leave it all up there. And I thought when we have an opportunity to play a long set, not just like the 25, 30-minute sets at Rocklahoma, but whenever we get to play an hour and a half, 2 hours, we do our damnedest to wear the motherfuckers out. And to me, that's getting fisted. Because when the night's over, you had more than your share of beer, and you've sang to practically every song, and that's kind of. and then the innuendo stuff.
It can make you feel awkward, though. It was at Rocklahoma. Hadn't been with the band, 4 months, maybe?
Yeah.
And your brother was there. And, of course, I walk out on the stage, and I was at a retro stage. And I said, does everybody want to get fisted tonight? And I said, I know I do. And the whole place got quiet. And then your brother, after it was all over, said, man, let me give you a word of advice. You probably shouldn't say that.
Well, I will say this, just like anytime you're on stage, timing is everything.
Yeah.
I mean, if you see two guys walking by with assless chaps and old leather police hats, you don't want to say, hey, get fisted. I mean, unless that's your deal, but...
Which I saw that at this year's Rocklahoma. Didn't want to, but just passed
But
by.
you couldn't turn away.
Yeah. Yep.
Were they wearing a Get Fisted shirt?
No, they weren't. No. But, so anyway, just thought I'd throw that in there.
But, you know, it is... It's right at that level of not necessarily clean by any means, but it's not really nasty.
Yeah.
You know, but it does invoke the question. And I've gotten asked more and more when I'm off the stage or hear other people tell me about them getting asked, what is this Get Fisted all about? They may not even see the name of the band on the back, but they read the front and they're like, what the hell? Especially if there's like, a dozen people running around with Get Fisted shirts.
And children.
So it invokes the question. It's like the long beard. Everyone from 8-year-olds to 108-year-olds want to touch the beard. And it doesn't matter where I'm at. So it's an icebreaker or whatever. And same way with the smoking.
Yeah, I've been standing in concert lines waiting to get in the show, and people just out of the blue don't know who I am, just want to take a picture with me because the shirt says "Get Fisted."
Yeah.
So it's open to interpretation.
Yeah.
Of course, I'll agree only if they take a picture of the back because it says "Fist of Rage" on there as well.
I think the job is done. We did it.
I get teased a lot with people that aren't familiar with our music, but they're familiar with me. And I work at a bar where there's a little bit of an older crowd, so the men in there get fisted, huh?
Yeah, and that's profiling.
It's
That's
great.
That's wrong.
But at the times when I've heard the crowd chant, get fisted, elbow deep, it's badass.
Yeah.
It's great to hear them doing that.
I'm a very visual guy. Just leave it at that.
Well, I guess you should have wore Schmitty backwards.
Yeah, really. Wrap it around my leg.
Well, you're a visual guy. I've seen a lot of, besides just Rocklahoma, I've seen a lot of pictures of you dressing up different ways. Is that something just out of the blue you decided to do one time and you just change it up every show or what?
It's okay. Just be honest with it.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I really want to be an Oompa Loompa. Deep down inside, working for a guy, making chocolate. Just sounds like a lot of fun.
Getting fisted.
And getting fisted. and getting fisted by Charlie. But I think I've talked to a lot of, I would say a lot, I'll say 5 singers. And I'm a fan of music, first and foremost, big time. And if I love a song or a band, I'll act like an idiot. And I've noticed that looking at some bands and the seriousness that they take, because it's pride. A lot of bands have pride. But a lot of
Don't have to worry about that here.
A lot of that, I can see how singers have, they have an ego. Phil Anselmo, and that guy, it comes out of his
Yeah, we can't even hang with him anymore. It's just,
pores.
it just gets on my nerves.
Just how serious do you want to be? How much of a rocker do you think you are? And then you compare it to my life, which I love rock and roll, and I love being in fists and get up on stage and sing and tell people to kiss my ass, and it's wonderful. But And then I go home and I do the father, the kid thing, and then I go to school at night, and then I work a job during the day, and then I try to fit everything else in my life that matters to me. And then when I go up on stage, if I don't do something that breaks monotony, makes me think that this is not a job, then I'll fail. So it's a real serious thing that's not so serious.
Well, I know the first night he auditioned, he came over, and of course we sung a little bit. We were tuned up a lot higher back then.
Oh my God.
So we were sitting around like this and just getting to know each other, drinking some beer. And I won't even talk about the shoes or the pants he was wearing, but
Yeah.
one of the things that struck me was his background in theater and theater performance, which, as far as I'm concerned, if you're a frontman, it does not hurt to have theater background, because you're still playing a role. Even if you truly believe what you're doing, you're still entertaining. But for Andy, it allows him to, he don't have to worry about what other people think if he's being him. And dressing up in the crap that he does, it's entertaining for us, but I think it helps him push the weight of every day off of him, and because he loves theater.
I like to push the envelope too. I like to push it to the point, quick to the point, no faking, cooking them seeds like a pound of bacon, burning them.
No.
And-
We'll stick with my answer. I think I know you.
I mean, what's the next one going to be? I mean, am I going to?
I know the first time he did a show with us, he was so fucking nervous that I'm not going to say.
Oh my God!
But
Memorial Lounge, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was extremely nervous. He was trying to play a role of a lead singer in a band, and I think as far as a full blown band, this is the first band you've been in.
Yeah, I mean,
so he had all these expectations and stress on him. But as we got to know each other, and I'm not taking credit, but I do try to push myself back and say, just be Andy. And the next thing I know, he's wearing Maryland costumes, Oompa Loompas. In fact, whenever he wore the, not emo, with the Eeyore, we were setting up, and I looked back behind the stage, and I'd seen this Eeyore costume. I'm like, great, we're going to bust our ass out here. Try to win these people over. And some guy's going to put on a stupid fucking costume and without any work is going to steal our fucking thunder. And so I get finished setting up and Andy starts singing. I turn around, he's in a fucking Eeyore costume. Like, well, okay, well, at least that works for our benefit.
What's your favorite one so far you've done?
Well, I would probably have to say Maryland's my favorite because it's simple and it's weird and bizarre, but there's not a whole lot to Maryland. But Maryland's definitely my favorite because I like having the tits on me and the way it makes me feel.
I'd have to second that. I like having tits on me too.
And the guys, I like to put money down my boobs and lift up my skirt and grab the ass cheeks.
And he's like, don't forget getting
He
fisted.
does have a big booty.
He's got a huge ass on it. Of course, my girlfriend, future wife, believes that that's totally uncalled for because I'm talking about a woman who's gender fluid. So if a guy finds me attractive, she's jealous. She's just jealous.
I think on our fist book last year at Rocklahoma during all the Mudlahoma and shit that we got a video on there because we're all just bunched up in the RV and he's got Marilyn on. Drunk as shit and yelling at anybody, and in fact, we was recording him, and we were laughing, so we were playing it back. Well, he was still yelling at people, and then he heard this recording going on. He was like, "Oh, some motherfucker's trying to get it on." He thought they were
yelling
competing.
at myself.
So he continued to yell
Continue.
at himself.
Yeah, screaming. The top of my lungs.
Like a screaming goat.
That's a shame you don't have it on your phone.
It's great. my phone?
Yeah, we could all bring it up and enjoy it.
It's on Facebook
Over
on
high
our
school beer.
account.
That's what it says on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's Facebook.
Facebook, sorry. Yes.
Yeah, we're vain when it comes to that.
As far as your guys' sound goes, it's pretty heavy, but at the same time, it's got melodicness to it, and I think that's pretty cool because you guys can do like you're opening for Bullet Boys, you can turn around and open for someone heavy, kind of cross genres like that. Was that something that you decided to do early on, or is that just the sound that came natural to you?
That's just the sound. I've always been under the impression if you don't enjoy what you're doing, then why the hell should anyone else? So I write what I think I would like, and I think we play what we like, and there's something beautiful about simplicity. Nothing against all these guitar gods out there, but you don't have to do a million notes, and you don't have to scream beyond comprehension to get your point across that you're angry about something. You can just sing about it. Yeah. And I get more comments about that, about the fact that we may have a song that just music-wise it opens up real heavy, and then whenever Andy starts singing, they can actually understand the lyrics. And I mean, it's not just old people, but it does spread from teenagers up to 50-somethings and more who still like that music, but they've gotten tired of not being able to understand what they're singing.
Yeah.
And that's one of the feedbacks that I've gotten, but which is positive and it's good but it just happens to be the way we do it. It's the way I was raised.
Well, of all the bands you guys have opened for, anything like crazy stories? Was anybody like a huge dick or a huge, just awesome, super awesome, or anything?
I'll say now. I will say, as far as dicks go, Motley Crue has it. Even though we were working the show, they have hands down as far as dicks, except for Mick Mars. But as far as other bands, in my opinion, they've all been fucking gracious. I think at this stage of the game, even the ones that are, don't have to write an album because they've got all the money they need, I think most of them, at least that we've dealt with, have appreciated because the rock genre has taken such a hit in the last 10 years that they're just glad people are showing up.
Andy's got some really good
Hell yeah, my
stories.
favorite by all time. They were the nicest group of guys.
Yeah.
And very outgoing, and they weren't douchebags at all. You wouldn't even know that they were in a band.
Chad came out after Cemetery Hero, and we got off stage and came up to Andy and was just praising his vocals.
I got red cheeks. It was pretty
which was awesome. I don't mean to keep cutting you off. It's your story, but it was awesome because Cemetery was inspired by Dimebag, and then opening up for Hell Yeah with Vinnie Paul, and then having Chad come out and
awesome.
make a point to come out and compliment Andy. Went miles for him too.
The lead singer of Saliva hit on my girlfriend.
Well, next time show up with Marilyn, he'll hit on you.
Oh yeah.
And we not necessarily opening with or for any band, but at Rocklahoma a couple of years ago, was real disappointed because we were setting up during the time Kill Devil Hill was playing. And I wanted to see them the whole weekend. That was the band I wanted to see, and we couldn't. And then our set got pushed back a couple of hours, and lo and behold, who was in our audience singing our songs back to us and getting the crowd to sing with them.
Yeah, and what was cool about that is he never heard us, and he was singing our songs.
Yeah.
And I think that gets back to what you was talking about, how we come off a little. The singer for Kill Devil Hill.
Okay.
But how we can come off a little heavy,
Mhm.
but when
Yeah.
the vocals are in there, it can also, it broadens the horizon to where, he'd never heard us before, but he's out there in front of the stage, fucking horns up and
Yeah.
singing the lyrics.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That was cool.
That was cool.
Yeah, you said something a minute ago about how, rock's taking such a hit that everybody seems, pretty gracious these days. That reminds me of that Dave Ellsworth from Megadeth. He was on a podcast, and he said that kind of thing. It's like, everybody kind of is just, they know they need to be cool now, and all the assholes have just weeded themselves out. And if you're supposed to be here, then if you're here, you're supposed to be here. So that's kind of cool, and hopefully that'll kind of, raise it back up in a way.
Well, I don't believe rock's dead. I don't think rock is going to die, but everything does work in cycles.
Mhm.
And you can only hear, I don't care if it's rock, music, rap, or whatever, you can only hear the same sounding stuff so much before you, fuck it, let's turn on some Hank Jr. That never gets old.
Yeah.
Or Waylon Jennings.
Or Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, you can't never get old of that one song. But there's room for it because music is a form of expression, and if rock and roll ain't anything else, it's at least a way to for me to all the negative stuff that you go through in life. Very, very seldom does something good happen. I'm like, oh, I want to write a song about that.
Yeah.
Shiny, happy people. Usually something happens that's tragic or whatever, and it doesn't have to be a sad song, but it's inspired by a tragedy. And most rock and roll that I play around with is based around that. So as long as humans are humans, there's always room for that.
Yeah, and they'll always need it. That's for sure. Yeah.
Well, you were managing before you started playing bass, or at least for the band.
Yeah.
Like when you came into the band, was that you're still managing, right?
I think it's a group effort. We all work together.
That
for the
big
greater good.
trucker hat you see in there?
Yeah.
We all put our heads under that and stick it. That's why we got it.
So it wasn't it wasn't a hard transition at all?
It's still a hard transition. No, I can't help but try to, put things together for the band.
Yeah. You might as well tell her to stand up to pee. It just ain't gonna happen. We were talking with Pavement Records, and we started, with this response to them, and it's a long narrative of what we have done or accomplished in our eyes. And after reading it, I'm like, why the fuck do we need them? We got Paullett. She's
super impressive.
you can't beat her off with two hands. I had to get that in there. But no, she's got she don't take no for an answer. So it's a hard transition for her because I didn't want a band member to be the manager. I wanted her to be a buffer. But I can't find anyone who has that passion that she has that I would even consider.
Well, who will work for free? No, but
Hey, just be glad I ain't charging.
this show is Bullet Boys. It's a Max Baker production, and when I first met Max, I don't know how many shows I'd just go to and pop up and be like, "Hi, Max. Have you heard of these guys? This is Fist of Rage." And over and over and over, I'd give him a CD until finally he was like, "Okay, I'll give you guys a chance." Need to sell 100 tickets. No.
That's whenever he gave us the Lynch Mob show in Oklahoma City, and we went out and leased a bus, sold seats on the bus, filled the bus full of beer, and the ticket got you there. All the beer you could drink there and back while it lasted.
Wow.
It
yeah.
got you from point A
Here's
to
the
point
shit.
B in the club and then back.
Yeah.
And
Did you lose money on that deal?
No.
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 And we showed up with, well, that bus was full.
Oh, we filled that
Plus,
bus.
we had
and then some.
packed
Yes.
vehicles, caravanning.
Yeah.
And we had more people in our crowd than Lynch Mob did.
Absolutely. And the look on their faces when this bus full of people started piling through, and
And like,
most
the
of them
band's
were
here
drunk
again
already.
and again and again.
Sorry about that, but we're all here. It was a great party. Afterwards, though, when we went back out to the bus driver hadn't opened it up yet. And it looked like a sea of seals or walruses laying on the sidewalk. Everybody just passed out next to the bus. It was a sight.
Apparently, it was from here
Oh
to
my
there.
I didn't know
they
back,
closed it
but
too!
Oh my gosh. I saw so many things happen from that group of people from that bus. What happened in Oklahoma City came back on the bus, is all I'm saying.
Somebody got AIDS.
Somebody got fisted.
That's a great idea too. That's awesome.
I saw you guys do that float trip.
Yeah.
Or at least you had for a while. I don't know if you're still doing it, but
Yeah, we do it annually. The date hasn't been carved in stone, but this summer yet. But really, I just coordinate dates.
It's Josh's fault. I mean, he
He's always going to some fucking festival.
6 other bands, 2 jobs,
Colonics.
10 kids.
No kids.
Well, none that you pay for.
Josh is screwed for me. I got things going on each weekend. Got 2 gigs with these guys, and I'm going to Chicago for the Chicago Open Air Festival in 2 weeks. And home to I'm from Green Bay, Wisconsin, so I'm going home the end of the month.
The Chicago show is going to be badass.
Family reunion and training camp. Gotta get that in, so.
Training camp.
Yep. Little cheese curds come back. Get another 20 pounds or so. And get Andy hooked on cheese curds.
I'm down, dude.
getting back that 25 pounds.
Shit, I don't want to. Get the plaque flowing, heart palpitating. Be up there on stage being some kind of Oompa Loompa or some kind of gnome and just have a massive myocardial infarction.
It's okay. He's just playing, Dad.
I mean, if it ever happens, I know the band will still love me. But THC, he just fires them if he doesn't like what they say. I'd have to just live with it. They'd be making fat jokes. It never stops. Of course, it's always about how the front man's supposed to look. Yeah. I just, there's another reason why I dress up. To hide my fat. To insulate myself from the band's ridicule. And it hurts me. It cuts me deep.
I don't know why it hurts you. Your opinion doesn't matter to us.
You guys are so mean.
I got him a $500 gift card.
You can only hurt the people you love.
There you go. Yeah.
Chipotle.
Yeah, I had a thing for this guy at first. Like I said, the first audition. Just the wacky ass white buckle Tom T. Hall shoes, or whatever they were. That's what's burned in my head.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he's got these story time with Andy Chapman. You Google that shit or YouTube that shit. That's he's got this song that we played at several shows. Mike Strange. It's an acoustic thing that he really should have brought you acoustic. You would bust it out for him.
Yeah, a guy I knew, he liked to sleep around with all my buddies' wives. And, he got caught, finally. And, ostracized, but not before he pounded all the ladies' flesh. And I had to make a song dedicated to Mike Strange, and this guy was just a dirty dog. Just dirty.
It's a great song.
Log up your daughters because Mike Strange is coming into town. Man, this guy. And he wasn't all that good looking either. He just found a way in. Next thing you knew, he's in the barn pumping in a sweat and you're a woman.
Let's hear a line or two.
Let's see, how's the first line go? I want to rub my nuts and create static on your cunts. A mic strange. Hey, you need some eyeball salve? Come rub your eyeball on my nads. A mic strange. There you go. That's just one little verse.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Came from the heart, the subconscious. The subconscious.
Google.
Yeah.
I didn't think it's all good, was it? Mike Strange is kind of a hidden track. I don't think it exists on the internet, really.
It does.
It does?
You can put it as a hidden track on
Yeah,
the
you'd be the one where you had to like wait 10 minutes and fast forward, you know, and then it would start up.
Okay, who's
Very
talked?
good.
No, remember when we were in Texas?
Great, now I have to find new musicians.
And I videotaped it and then Facebooked it.
Oh.
Oh,
I thought I had to
Yeah,
take it off
Waco.
because of my mother.
Or not Waco,
See, I told you. It's
the other
just
town.
a pain in the ass.
Not my
Kind of
house.
stuff.
Because your
Yeah,
mom and
well.
Mike Strange have hooked up.
No.
Not my nieces.
No.
At the same
Had you
place
no
where
soul.
the terrorists went in there and killed all the people on the thing, on the base, and then they said it's workplace. Work in place.
Fort Gibson? Is it Fort Gibson?
Or something.
In,
Texas, right? That was that day that, yeah.
so,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the word.
Well, that's like the first time the word cunt has ever been on a podcast, so I'm loving that. That's great.
Was that?
So
Courtesy
now
of
it's officially
me.
been on there twice because you just said it.
Twice.
It just doubled.
Yes.
It just doubled in like 15 seconds.
It's okay.
Can you just say like that was descriptive? Like you weren't really saying it. You were just. Oh boy.
I want to say she was nice. No, she was a cunt.
Number 3.
That's 3. You can't fight for listeners or lose for listeners.
Well, I thought we were playing Family Feud. That was my answer.
Good answer.
Good answer.
Wow.
Survey says 50% dead.
Top 10 derogatory terms for women.
Yes.
Start with C.
Mhm.
Ready? Go.
Kumquat.
What's the guy supposed to do? Whatever your name is.
Yeah.
So, Rammstein. You're going to see Rammstein, huh?
Yeah, actually, my wife and I have seen them a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And we saw they were coming to Chicago, their only U.S. appearance. And I told her, she's like, "We gotta buy the tickets." And we actually bought the tickets before they announced the rest of that ridiculous lineup there.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a bonus.
Yeah.
And me and her kind of got the mentality of life's too short, buy the tickets. So we try to like go to every concert we can. You know, not too many people come through Tulsa, so we try to like go to all of them.
Hey, I've
Go
got,
see the Deftones.
I've got tickets to Bullet Boys.
Volbeat. Yeah. You know, just anybody that comes through that's worth seeing. You know, and
Can you say the word bonus?
I really like heavy death metal
This is
stuff.
his turn.
You know, and stuff like that. Unfortunately, not a lot of those bands come through here, so I kind of get out, try to go wherever I can. You know, Lone City, those kind of bands stuff. I think everybody here's got different influences. You know, I'm just kind of into
He's a
the.
traveling fan.
I'm more excited to see Meshuggah and Gojira than Rammstein. Rammstein's like the cherry on the cake.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of the bands. I want to
Is
see,
that
I want to
the
see
band?
Carcass. I've never seen Carcass. It's been a big
I like
fan.
ramen noodles.
15 years now, 20 years. So.
He's talking.
When, like,
It's history.
Exodus or something like that, too?
What's that?
When they're a thrash band, like Exodus or Overkill or something like that?
Well, there was an Exodus.
Helmet is
But
going to
they
be
left.
there, and I'm still amazed they're still
Farms.
kicking. You know, that should be a good time. Really excited about it.
Bonus.
You'd see Corey Taylor in a neck brace. It'd be great.
Someone line you now?
He had neck surgery. I've had 2 neck surgeries, so I can kind of relate to that. So,
You guys,
snort
You guys
here,
can
snort
bond.
all the way down the back here.
you can spinal bond.
The spinal
Spinal
bond,
bond.
exactly.
Well, you're the new guy. What'd you do before?
I moved here from Chicago about 6 years ago. Kind of played. I dicked around in a country cover band, which I don't like to say anything, but now Vernon knows. That means I'm going to be out of the band next week. I played Just
okay.
basically played some like original cover bands in Chicago. I played a metalcore band in Atlanta for about 4 years. Before that, I lived in Wisconsin and I was in a band called Bleed and Crawl, 2 different names. That was like 20 years ago. We were signed, did some touring, lived in a band for like a couple of years. Did 2 Warped tours, played the Metal Fest and all that stuff. That was kind of fun, And then I just met my wife and just got away from her for a while. And then I just decided that it was time to. I was talking to a friend that I worked at when I worked at GameStop, and he wanted to start a band again, and got into that. And that was in Atlanta, and I bought drums, like kind of relearned how to play and stuff like that. And, ended up playing for a good 4 or 5 years with them. Down in Atlanta, a band called Terranigma. It's a great video game on the N64. But that was kind of cool, I've just moved around a lot. My wife is going to school. She's got a PhD, doctorate and stuff. So we ended up moving here. She got a job at Phillips. And just kind of this is where we are now. And
brings home the bacon.
And then Paullett was kind of harassing me for
I want some bacon.
About 6-8 months about Kiss to Rage. And then one night we were both just ripping the hell of this band on stage. And she's like, "You should come try out." I'm like, "Well, send me, what was it, 5-10 songs?" Yeah. And I was like, "Well, give me like 4 or 5
this shit's
days."
easy.
Yeah, he said, give me 4 or 5 days.
And I came in and kind of nailed them. I didn't know what to think about Vernon at first, but I'm like,
It always hurts until the muscle in your throat relaxes.
exactly. Yeah, I got fisted the first night.
Yeah.
And then, after he wanted me back for another audition, I came back. We jammed some more, and then eventually I was worth the 1.5-hour drive for Andy's show.
Which, by the way,
That was
Andy,
like
this
the
is
third
Josh.
I'm really happy. This is a lot of fun, and these guys are great. I mean, I really enjoy just hanging out. I mean, music's like secondary to me. I'm just like hanging out with these other three people here.
We get naked.
Yeah. If you guys weren't here, we got the Matt down.
to get you right here.
Naked Twister.
I always think I'm on the person that says everything happens for a reason. And we went through some drummers auditioning then, trying to find the right shoe. And I don't know, Josh and I hit it off. Andy and Josh, oh my gosh, they're like separated twins. And then V and the 3 of these guys, the camaraderie they have, they're all jokers. They all are comedians, my God. And it's there's some good dynamics happening.
First off, what I say is serious. It's not a joke. I want you to remember that.
I am still a girl though, so sometimes the jokes aren't that
So
funny.
she cries every 28 days.
I honestly
Every
would do this, but I didn't love
25. 25.
I am not an animal. I am a sexual ogre.
But it's okay. She don't want the hose again, so she puts the lotion.
I do. Fuck.
Oh, man.
I just ate this whole package of fucking Trident, okay?
Swallowed it too?
All right, yeah.
No, that
No,
has
it's
calories.
not
He just wants
That's
to
right.
spit.
Just out of rehab, you got to do something.
That's right.
If they would just make them wrappers unzip, you'd be at home.
How long did the beard take to get that length?
Man,
It's a glue on.
if I sleep late and don't have a chance to shave, it's here again.
It's like a Yeti under that shirt.
But this isn't the first beard I've had. I burnt it off. I had my youngest daughter pulled half of it out to where it's bleeding. That's when I shaved it. And then I was coaching my kids' sports back when they were little. That was like 09. And all the soccer moms were like, "Oh, I can't believe you shaved your beard." Like, I'm going to grow it back, don't worry. And soccer dad's like, "Yeah, you better grow that back."
And now he uses it to savor the flavor.
She calling bullshit on my story. Well, that's worse shit.
Okay, you're not in our circle of trust.
Yeah. Encrypted damn
Get over here,
codes.
Jason. Right now, we're just a triangle of trust.
She just told me the name of your album.
No. Slipped it in there.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm in the circle of trust now.
Well,
I wasn't even in the band until after Oklahoma was done. No.
Well, it was Sunday of Rocklahoma,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
I was gonna say
You're not in
that's
the
not
circle.
totally true because we were still at Rocklahoma,
Yeah.
and our last slot got pushed back so far we weren't gonna play. I was like, well, you stayed this long, I guess you can be in the band.
Do we have to use a circle as a geometric shape? It's a commonality. Why
Yeah.
can't we use like a polynomial or
I
something?
like that shit.
Polynomial of trust.
Too many corners. Every corner represents a person. I don't have that big of a fan base.
It's the circle of trust because it never ends. You know, if it's any other shape,
Hey,
breaks. You know, from
What about no?
and now you know. And no one's half the battle. G.I. Joe.
It's like circle.
Like a circle.
What about a figure
The more
eight?
you know.
I mean,
That's great.
No, because that's too close to infinity. And that circle of trust eventually dies down.
well, there
Because
you go.
present company excluded, no one's perfect.
That's right.
Your company, not my company.
Damn.
I'm gonna go back over on the other side now.
What you got? Anything else?
We're good. I think we got it.
We ran out of tape 45 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's been flashing for. I'll just let you guys keep going.
Oh, hell yeah. You're supposed to be pushing record. Oh, yeah.
Can we do this Friday?
Hey, so when is this gonna be released?
I don't know yet. Probably
Okay.
Monday.
Okay, so it's pointless to say we've got a show this Saturday at Billy and Renee's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well-
We had a show Saturday at Billy and Renee's.
It was
You guys all
awesome.
missed it. It was
Awesome.
great.
It was awesome.
Sick.
You would not believe how many people were there.
I had AIDS.
7.
But you're good now.
I'm good now.
The 7 people there went crazy.
We're going to be in Oklahoma City Limits July 23rd, playing with the Bullet Boys. Got tickets for sale.
We're gonna get smooth up India.
I had tiger blood.
Yes.
Drop.
I knew that was coming.
$15 for the GA. We've got some for $20 for VIP tickets, but it's a limited supply through the band. Chasing Jenny's going to be there. Uncle Freddie is another featured band that's, I think, going to be the main opening headliners for.
Are we the only odd ducks out on that naming the bands type thing? I mean, Chasing Jenny, Uncle Fred. I mean, it sounds like like
I
a
know.
bad
Whole
deliverance.
family.
But no.
Fist of Claire.
Fist of Claire.
It's the Mike's range that weekend.
That's right.
You should. I really, you should.
He's like, oh, the ladies.
No, just our best friends.
Cool. Well, thanks for taking the time to do this.
Thank you.
There you go. Fist of Rage. V, Paullett, Andy, Josh, all 4 of them. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your evening. I'm sure we pushed their practice back by an hour or so, but
Yes.
hopefully they thought it was worth it like we did as well.
Yeah, we apologize, but yeah, we thought it was worth it. And, we had some laughs. We got to thank them. They had some beers.
Yeah.
We had a few drinks. We talked about gender fluidity. We said cunt a lot. So it was great.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
You can't ask for much more on a Wednesday night.
No, you really can't. Talked about turtles, so it was all good.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't see, obviously, on the podcast, but he has a pretty good size aquarium full of turtles that we mentioned at one point.
Yes.
And it's pretty cool.
Yes. And, July 23rd, Oklahoma City, they're opening for Bullet Boys. You guys need to be there. And we might have some tickets to give away.
Yeah.
We got to figure out how we want to do it.
Yeah, we're still figuring out how to do that. And
Yeah.
we should know here in the next couple of days this week. So
That's right.
be on the lookout for that. You can win a couple tickets to Bullet Boys, courtesy of Fist of Rage and Thunder Underground.
Yeah. And this shit isn't going to be easy, people. We're going to make you work for it.
Yeah.
It's going to be something. Just stay tuned.
It might be to go back through all 75 episodes and count up how many times Jason has said fuck.
That's going to be a lot.
Yeah. Someone might, if someone does, someone doesn't have time to listen to 75 episodes and figure it out.
Because that'd take quite a while.
Right. But yeah, anyway, again, like we said, thanks to
Yeah.
all 4 members of Fist of Rage. We had a great time. Looking forward to seeing them live and talking to them again down the line. And like I said, Fist of Rage, they're on Facebook. They're on Reverb Nation. They've got some live videos on YouTube. You can check them out. Got some great music. And, while you're checking things out, follow us on Facebook. Get on our website. It's thethunderunderground.com. We're on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter and Periscope as well.
Yeah.
And we're also obviously on SoundCloud. That's soundcloud.com/thunder-underground. We've got a ton more episodes. Obviously, 74 more. We've had on people from Sons of Texas, Battlecross, Crowbar, Warrant, Europe, Insight, Drowning Pool, Megadeth.
Act of Defiance.
Yes. I said Megadeth, but formerly of Megadeth.
There you go.
I'm just thinking of what I write in the press things.
Overkill.
It sounds good, yeah. Murder FM, Scattered Hamlet.
That's right.
Speaking of Scattered Hamlet, we just saw them last night. I'm saying this ahead of time,
That's right. They kicked ass, didn't they?
Yeah, I guarantee you they kicked ass.
That's right.
Hopefully, we'll elaborate more on that next time because I'm drawing a blank right now exactly what happened, but
Well, and we've like this is Fist of Rage. We've had a lot more regional, local acts. We've had Driver, Chad Malone from Senior Fellows.
Yeah.
9 from Dead Metal Society. Scott and Jana from Rocket Science.
And previously Down for 5, yeah.
Yeah, Down for 5. Cody
Jason.
Slane.
Yeah, from Blackwater Rebellion
Yeah.
and Scorned. And then we had Jason Gilardi, who's in Dead Metal Society,
That's
and he was
right.
in Caroline Spine for the bulk of their existence. And then who else? We had on 2 of the dudes from Severmind, Stacy and Derek.
Yes, which we need to have them back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and try to get the whole band on, or yeah.
And we even got like a few minutes with Eddie Trunk.
Yeah.
But right now I want to just take a couple minutes. The last episode was Jeff Sandoval and Mike Ariza, and I just got their Project Playlist CD in the mail.
Okay.
And it kicks fucking ass.
Yes.
I mean, I cranked it way up in my house, and the first 2 songs alone are worth $8.
Yeah.
And that was just a great episode and a great CD, and people need to go back and listen to that one for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, great melodic hard rock.
Yeah, just I think like I told Mike, chunky, slabby, tuneful as hell. I mean, just awesome stuff.
Yeah. And he told a story in the podcast about when they were recording Love, Life, and Beauty with Frank Hannon, and he said that the studio was freezing cold. You remember you talking about that? And like he was over there shivering or whatever. And then he sent me a message earlier today and said that he was digging through his stuff and found a video of them tracking that, and he was wearing a coat while he was recording, while he was playing guitar. So there's your proof, I guess.
That's how cold it was. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So go check that out. That's the episode directly before this one.
Yes.
Yep. Once again, thethunderunderground.com. Shoot us an email at thethunderunderground@gmail.com if you have any comments. And if you got a band you want us to check out, do that as well. Well, we've got an episode coming up here in the next week or so with Crane Technique.
Yes.
We sat down with all 4 members of that band, as well as Chris from DMG Productions was there, and he chimed in for a minute too. So that one's going to be coming up this next week. Looking forward to hearing that.
Yep.
And then we should have one with Scattered Hamlet, like I mentioned.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
And then we've got 2 or 3 other things in the works. So
yeah, but we don't want to say nothing.
Yeah.
Because you never know.
Right.
Because, it might...
I should edit that thing out that I just said about Scattered Hamlet, right?
Well, you never know.
We got faith, though.
Because, you might want to edit it out, because sometimes things don't pan out. Stu Ham. And, it just falls apart. But that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's true. All right. Well, we appreciate you listening and us rambling here for 5 minutes about episodes that have happened or might not happen. Thanks again to Fist of Rage, and until next time.
Thunder Underground, y'all.